So now we move on to the other chapter of asset and liability. Again, this comes in purchase. I mean, when you buy something, okay, this would go in this is where it actually leads up to. Are you buying an asset or are you buying a liability? Just give me an example. How many of you think buying a car is asset or liability? Yes. Some would be thinking that a car would be an asset, or some would think a car is liability, or some would actually, since you're business students, you will know the car is a depreciating asset, so probably it should come with a liability. See, let me tell you what exactly is ultimate truth going forward. Cash is actually not the king. Yes, I'm sorry to say this, but cash is not the king. Only cash flow is the king. Exactly. This is the most important truth. This is the ultimate truth. Cash flow is king, not cash is not the king. Having cash X amount in the bank is not going to make you rich. But where do you invest that amount is only where you get more returns. And then how the monthly installment, the flow of cash, the more number of flows, and the right amount of decision that you make is only going to make you more wealthier. So this is my favorite author. I mean, he's actually Robert Kiyosaki. And he has spoken about the golden rules of cash flow. And he says the dash buy assets and the dash only have expenses. The dash buys liabilities which they think are asset. Now I'm going to reveal you what are these dashes. The rich buys assets. The poor only have expenses. The middle class buys liabilities they think are assets. So the poor and the middle class work for money. See, this is a very, very strong and powerful line. The poor and middle class work for money, but the rich, they have money which work for them. I'll go to the back slide. This is what the wealth is. This is what the money is. This is what the rich are. Rich would never show off the money. They have the wealth and the money which will actually work for them. This is the one, the right and the left hand side. So the idea is to buy assets and to accumulate wealth. So that we move out of that rat race. Our financial goal should be to move out of the rat race. Just starts small. It's okay if we don't have to need a big amount to start investing. You can start small. You can start with ₹2,000. Save 2,000 rupees per month, and you can just start investing. So what matters is not the amount, but order matters. You can save and spend, not spend and save. That's why I said order matters. Whenever you get first salary in hand, first save or invest and then spend. So start small, do the saving first and then spending, because you don't want to do the saving at the last. So it takes an hour to earn ₹2,000, but a few seconds to spend it. It's easy to spend 2,000 rupees note, and it takes hours to earn the same amount. So that's the power of saving. So golden rule is money saved is money earned. So what are different types of assets? There are different types of assets are appreciating assets like gold, which is a real money, real estates and rent, fetching properties. Again, these are appreciating assets. Shares and equity, fixed deposits, dividend yielding stocks that yield dividend in series, which again yield monthly interest or quarterly interest. These are all appreciating assets. Bonds and series, which I just talked about, and owning a business. I'm going to take loans to buy depreciating assets. Never take loans. You can sometimes take a loan to buy appreciating assets, like investing in business or buying something, but never ever take a loan for purchasing a depreciating asset. Because bad loan taken to purchase, it's a liability. To take a loan to purchase a depreciating asset, it's a liability. So whenever you have some amount, or only then you commit to, say, buying your mobile or electronic gadgets. So till then, you can actually just wait. So it's easy to earn money. That's what my grandfather always says. It's easy to earn money, but really, really hard to safely keep money. As you saw in the first slide, when Anil Ambani had actually $42 billion in hand. Maybe it was easy for him to get that entire wealth, but it was very difficult for him to keep the money safely and not losing its value. So it's very, very, very difficult. Even more difficult. Earning is difficult, but even more difficult to keep money safely. So that's why the only answer to this is build assets. As more amount of assets that you build, it will actually help you move out of the rat race faster. So build assets, create passive incomes to quit the rat race and live in peace. That's the most important point. What we're doing is rat race will never give peace. We need to live in peace. And the idea over here is to create multiple streams of income. So build assets and build passive income. So what most people do is they earn income and then buy luxuries, like the car or fancy phone. But what rich would do is he would earn an income, he will invest in assets, and whatever he earns from that assets, he will then purchase luxury. See, these are two important differences. And please understand this difference is very, very important. It is not that you should not buy luxury. I'm never against it. No, I mean, if at all, I've made a point repeatedly, but I'm never against luxury. Luxury should be bought, but how it should be bought is what we are discussing, and never to enjoy luxury. So luxury can be enjoyed or should be enjoyed by building passive flows of income, and with that, whenever you get that passive income, buy and enjoy your life and enjoy luxury. That is what my ultimate aim is. We are only changing the mechanics of to reach it, and not discussing about if luxury is really bad. No, we're not discussing that at all. It is just that what some people do and why they're successful, and what the most of us do. So this is I'm revealing you out over there. They build assets, they buy assets, they have this passive income, and then they indulge in luxury. So how to buy luxury? Again, build capital from savings. Never, and the important point is never lose your capital. Build capital. The second point is never lose capital. Spend and never spend capital. When you have a capital, never spend the capital. Try to build upon it, and whatever you earn from the capital, that can be spent on things that you want. So buy from passive incomes that is earned from this capital. I hope my point is very clear. This is what I'm trying to prove. I'm trying to tell you is that a capital. Save, make income out of it, or make capital gains out of it, and then buy things that you want. So this is the cash flow cycle. We do. We earn, we save, and then we buy assets, and then we start accumulating assets, and then with that asset we either reinvest back in assets, or we buy things that we want. And you can also do one thing is, if you think like Bitcoin or things like that, which you think you can risk risky assets, you can always set aside 10% of your wealth, of your passive income or your wealth to riskier assets, so that even if you lose the 10%, it will not lose your entire capital. Never put 100% in riskier assets. Like crypto was actually talk of the town in 1.5 years back, but after many exchanges have fallen, crypto is actually losing its charm. But again, it is getting back. Some of the assets actually, currencies actually, the coins actually gotten back. But again, you should never risk the entire capital on that. Part of it can be risked, because even if you lose it, it doesn't mind you. If it gives you good returns, it will give you amazing returns. Else, you still have your entire capital saved. So common mistakes, again, we don't start saving, and we need to start it the earlier the better. And we need to save first and then spend next. Important to invest in savings. And liquidity matters. The most important thing is liquidity. Even if you invest in assets, make sure that most of the part of the assets are liquid. I'll tell you why. Many people I've met, I have a number of clients. They are rich in the sense of they are very wealthy. They own a lot of land banks, but thing is they have no cash flow, and that is where they actually get stuck. So my idea would be to build assets in such a way that they are more liquid, because lands are not easily liquid. It takes time. If you need money in a month or say next week, you cannot liquidate land. So lands are actually for the next generation. It is not for you. It is for the next generation. You enjoy the capital gain out of it. What is liquid is the gold that you own, the fixed deposits, the NCDs, bonds, and the equity. These are all your liquid assets. So never invest in things that you don't understand. Just because someone has done it, he should be knowing it. Let me invest it. Then those are all under risky parts. We should only do 10% of it because you don't understand it. So try to understand what you're investing in, what you're buying. Only then you invest. Else, don't do that at all. That's the biggest mistake. Again, as I discussed real estate next gen, and risk should be only taken 10 to 15% of your savings. And always understand return on equity. That is, if I put X money, after Y number of years, what would be my return out of the money invested, capital invested? So always think about in those perception, those trends. Will I get 12% return? Will I get 15% return? On an average, some mutual funds, and if you invest, 15% is a very good return. On 50% CAGR is a very good return. So you need to have a mix of everything going forward, and do not wait. Yeah. So always look for value. Whenever you buy something, look for value. Cheaper. How can I get same thing in a better say if I want to buy a mouse, okay. Now when I bought this mouse, I bought it for say Flipkart for 400 rupees. But I sent my person to Ritchie Street and tried to identify if they have similar mouse in the street, and they're charging me 1,000 rupees for this wireless for Bluetooth mouse. Why pay double when I get it for half the price? This is what being thrifty is. Simple as that. When I had to buy a laptop, the first thing that came in my mind was a MacBook Air that was costing me 1 lakh rupee and what. But then I thought, is it required to spend 1 lakh? Why would I do that? I mean, if I just want to use it for my office purpose, then I decided to buy a laptop for 35,000. But again, this helped me save 65,000 rupees. So it is not that it is the choices that you make. You see what value you get for what price you pay. So these are all the mental models which I want to tell you, so that you are aware of all these things. So price is what you pay, but the value is what you get. This is famously said by Warren Buffett. And money saves money earned. So if you buy things that you don't need, and soon you will sell things which you need. So these are all the important things. So again, going forward to the first slide, and now this slide again, I'm coming back. So had you invested rupees 100, 2,000, and inflation adjusted, it would have been 196 rupees today. The value would be 196. So 100 rupees, which is in 2010, would be value around close to 200 rupees in today's terms at 7% inflation. But the solution for cash is to buy assets. That's what I've been rounded: silver, fixed deposit, gold, Reliance. I mean the stocks, and of course some other stocks. So solution way forward is don't keep cash idle. Invest in appreciating assets that will actually help you move forward in your financial ladder.